everyone, I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Kelly. It's Sports Week here at BGCTV, and today we're talking all about powerful players and the coaches who help them shine.
When you think of powerful players, you probably think of the greats like Michael Jordan, Babe Ruth, Shaquille O'Neal.
Speaking of Shaquille, did you guys know that he was actually a club kid? Elizabeth and I recently got a chance to sit down with him to talk about his experience as a club kid.
Let's take a look at the video and then we can head over to Joe to start talking about the athletes.
The Boys and Girls Club saved my life. What I mean by that, growing up in the projects of Newark, New Jersey, a lot of negative temptations, drugs, gangs, a lot of bad things. So, mother and father both worked very hard to support the family. So they would say, go in the Boys and Girls Club, play, fulfill your dream. You want to make it in this NBA thing or NFL thing. Go in there, play with other kids, but do not leave this building until we come pick you up. And that was my daily routine. But in there, I've learned how to become a people person. I've learned how to become a team player. I've learned how to become a nice guy. I've learned how to become a protector. I've learned how to become a leader. And that's all because of the Boys and Girls Club. My message is the same message that my mother gave me. My mother's also a Boys and Girls Club alumni member. She always told me, be a leader and not a follower. People always throw the term role model around, but I use the term real model, because when you look at a superstar like me, what you see is what you get. And I think the kids can, relate to me. I'm just like them. Jeans, shirts, hanging out, rims, rap music. So, they look at me and they say, you know what? I can do that. Boys and Girls Clubs, great futures start here.
A lot of people want to help the world and change it for the better, but they don't have the time or money to. That's why professional athletes use their fame and their own money to help charities that are close to their hearts. So today, I'm going to talk about some of those players and what they have done. The first athlete I'm going to talk about is called Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw founded the Kershaw's Challenge in 2011. This organization is a faith-based, others-focused organization. It started when Kershaw's wife met a 9-year-old named Hope who battled a really bad virus. Kershaw and his wife decided to help Hope by providing her basic needs. After that, the organization went to give scholarships to kids and help build schools. This next athlete is a tennis player by day and the owner of a community center by night. We're going to be talking about Serena Williams and how back in 2016, she and her sister opened a community center back in their hometown of Compton, California. She also jumped on board the Allstate Foundation's Purple Purse, which helps people who have survived very bad situations. In 2018, she gave $10,000 and donated it to a charity called Imagine LA, which helps families without a home. The last person we're going to talk about is Kevin Durant, a basketball player for the Golden State Warriors. In 2018, Durant gave $10 million to fund a program called College Track. This program helps prepare children to enter college. He also paid for the first year of college for 4 high school students, because they were involved with the Boys and Girls Club of the Peninsula. Durant also volunteers with the Boys and Girls Club down in California. All those athletes do a lot for the community and for other people. You can also do a lot but just by volunteering in your community whenever possible. That's all the time I have left. Next up is Kelly and Elizabeth after a quick break.
I've always wanted to play soccer, but I'm not that fast and my kicks are pretty weak. I guess it's a good thing I have Mighty Cleats. Mighty Cleats are the best cleat for any sports player. With them on, you can run up to 500 miles per hour and kick with the force of 1,000 horses. They're ultra powerful and will help you win any game. Just be sure to try and control your power. Last time I used all my strength, I missed the goal and kicked a ball straight through a house. Went straight through. Get your own Mighty Cleats today at mightycleats.com. Order now and use the code IGOTTAGOFAST to get 15% off your first pair. I swear they'll be clean.
Hi guys, welcome back.
We're back to talk about some of the people we like to call the GOATs.
Wait, Elizabeth, it's Sports Week, not Animal Week.
No, silly. GOAT stands for greatest of all time.
Oh, that makes sense.
There are GOATs in every sport. For example, the first GOAT for tennis is Serena Williams, who is #1 female tennis player. She has won 23 majors, one of which she played while she was pregnant.
Wow, that's impressive. Who's the GOAT for basketball?
I think there are too many good players to answer this question with one person. But I think the only possible answer to this question is LeBron James or Michael Jordan. They're both pretty good at the sport.
I think they're both pretty incredible players. I know who the GOATs of soccer are. It has to be Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi. Messi has won the World Player of the Year 6 times, and Ronaldo's won it 5 times.
You seem to know a lot about soccer players. Are you a fan?
I certainly am. Who's the next GOAT?
Well, the greatest swimmer of all time has to be Michael Phelps. He has won 23 Olympic gold medals. That is insane.
Sounds like there sure are a lot of GOATs.
There are even more that we didn't talk about. Can you believe it?
No, I can't. But I think we're out of time, so let's turn the time over to Kaylee, who is sitting down with a coach from a different sport. Take it away, Kaylee.
Hey guys, today is all about big players, but who can be a player without a coach? So today I have a super cool lacrosse coach joining us all the way from the state of Georgia. Her name is Kendra. Hi, Kendra.
Hey.
We're so happy to have you. So Kendra, can you tell us a little about yourself?
Yes. So right now I'm coaching girls lacrosse. I've been coaching for a little over 10 years, which has flown by. I absolutely love it and want to continue to grow the sport with my lacrosse girls.
That is super cool. What do you think it takes to be a good coach?
I think the most important thing about being a good coach is being approachable and always being authentic with your players. It's really easy to just get into full coach mode and have tunnel vision, but being able to step back and see the bigger picture on what you want your players to perceive and what you want them to really take from each practice is the way to maintain a positive environment and make sure that all of the players have the same why. It's really easy to get competitive and forget the real big picture on why you're out there and what the message that you're sending to your team. I think that being approachable and being authentic and being honest with your team is definitely the best way to run a great program.
Well, that's awesome. What do you think it takes to be a good team player?
I think it takes team players that can look to their teammates for help and for guidance and being able to admit when they've made a mistake. For example, in girls lacrosse, there's a defensive line. It's really similar to basketball. And so you rely on your teammates to slide, and we call it a crash in girls lacrosse. And so when somebody is running to goal, the whole defensive line needs to crash together. And so if one person doesn't crash or one person misses a slide, then it can result in a goal. And so being able to come together after a goal is scored and say, hey, that was my bad. I forgot to slide. I didn't communicate. I think that is one of the most important roles of being a team player and being a good teammate is being able to admit when you've messed up and to have the comfort and the support from your teammates that it's okay next time. We'll be able to function better as a unit and building each other back up instead of tearing people down. I think that really is what encompasses a good teammate.
I totally agree. Being a team player is super important. Can you tell us a little bit about the game, maybe some rules and how the game goes?
Absolutely. So I've heard my dad and I are kind of in a debate on on this topic. So lacrosse is the fastest growing sport in America. He believes it's pickleball. I believe it's lacrosse. It's also been called the fastest sport on 2 feet, which I think is 100% true, especially girls lacrosse, because it's just such a fluid game. And so I compare lacrosse to basketball more than any other sport, mainly because the offensive sets and the defensive sets are similar. Draw and dump, pick and rolls, zone defense, man defense. It's really similar. Some of the most easy sports to compare it to are hockey, because they have hockey nets and then the hockey lines. They're usually set up almost identical to how a hockey game would be set up. And they also have the creases just like hockey. And then obviously you have a stick just like hockey. And it's really hockey with a net on the end of their stick. And so it's basketball and hockey combined. A lot of people say, oh, it's just like soccer, but I really have had a hard time being able to compare soccer and lacrosse. They're just so different, other than the fact that they're running on a field. But that's how I would describe it.
Lacrosse seriously sounds so cool. Kendra, thank you so much for joining me. It was so cool to hear about the game.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Now let's go to Joe to hear some more about big coaches.
What makes a coach really big? Is it how they teach their team, or is it how they train their team? It is actually how many wins and losses they have over their careers and how far their team goes during the seasons. The first coach that I'm going to talk about is James Franklin from Pennsylvania State. Pennsylvania State has become one of the top football teams under Franklin's direction. Franklin has led 3 other teams to big wins during his time with their teams. With Pennsylvania State, they have finished in the top 10 3 times since he started. He was the only coach in Pennsylvania State history to take the team to 3 Super Bowl games in a row. This next big coach was a women's basketball coach for the University of Tennessee for almost 40 years in total. And her name was Patricia Susan Summit, but she liked to be called Pat. During her career, her team won a total of 1,100 games. This was the most in college basketball history when she retired. She won 8 basketball championships, which was the record and the 3rd highest of all time. In 2009, she was number 11 out of the 50 greatest coaches of all time in all of sports. This last coach comes from across the ocean and was a coach for the Manchester United for almost 30 years. Sir Alexander Chapman Ferguson is considered the greatest manager of all time. He has won more trophies than any other managers in football history. Before he was a coach, he played for several Scottish teams, so he knows how a team should work. When he started managing Manchester United, he won 38 trophies for different soccer tournaments. Because of his wins in soccer, he was knighted by the Queen in 1999. Those were some of the greatest coaches of all time for different sports. They're quite inspirational and make me want to be a great coach for some sort of sport. But until that day comes, my time here is done. Up next is Elizabeth and Kelly to talk about some athletes after a quick break.
I have the ultimate cleats, but in order to play baseball, you have to be able to hit the ball, and I'm pretty bad at that. Luckily, I have the Mighty Bat, from the creators of the Mighty Hat and the Mighty Cat. The Mighty Bat always hits the ball and is guaranteed a home run. Just know that if you hit it with all your power, you're never getting your ball back. That's in space now. So go to themightybat.com to get your Mighty Bat. And if you order right now, you'll get a Mighty Hat for free.
Welcome back, guys. We've talked a lot about some amazing athletes, but some athletes are a little quirky too.
Some are just a little silly, and some have some very strange habits.
For example, Mark Fidrich, a Major League Baseball player, was known for talking to the baseball. He would also ask people to put the ball back into the bag so it can hang out with the other baseballs.
Wow, that is strange. Another interesting one is Wade Boggs. He's another famous baseball player. People called him the Chicken Man because he would eat chicken before every single game.
Speaking of weird eating habits, have you heard of Karan Butler? Apparently, he would chug an entire 2-liter of Mountain Dew before every basketball game until his coach finally made him stop because it was so unhealthy. He'd also chew on straws during every one of his games.
Yikes, that seems unsafe.
Agreed.
Another interesting one is Chad Johnson, a football player. His jersey number was 85, so he literally changed his name to Chad Ochocinco, which is Spanish for 85.
Wow. Should I change my last name to BGCTV?
Please do.
All right, I've got one more to share. You know how some athletes have special rituals that they think make them lucky during their games? Well, here's a fun one. Bruce Gardner, a hockey player in the NHL, apparently used to dunk his hockey stick in the locker room toilet before every game. He thought it helped him score goals.
That's so gross.
Can't argue there.
Well, there are many athletes who do some weird stuff, but I think we need a break. Let's head over to Kaylee with the wellness tip.
Hey guys, today I want to talk about spreading kindness. When you are mean to someone, think about how that made them feel. Probably not good. But when you are kind to someone, it makes them feel good about themselves. Did you know that you can help people build their self-esteem just by being kind to them? Yes, you really can. Spreading kind words or even asking someone you wouldn't normally hang out with to join you and your friends, all of those help build self-esteem. You never even know how someone feels on the inside, so when you are mean to them, you could be negatively adding to how they already feel, and we don't want that. Being kind to someone goes a long way. You can even do something called random acts of kindness. It means to go out of your way to say or do something kind for someone else. Maybe you bring a friend who has been sad their favorite treat, or maybe you told a random person you really liked their shoes. Those are all random acts of kindness. If you want to help someone build their self-esteem, be kind to them, give them genuine compliments, and just try to keep them happy and positive. It will go a long way. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Always remember to spread kindness and don't forget to smile. Bye!
Thanks, Kaylee. We're here with Allie and Alana, frequent guest stars on our show. Hi, girls.
Hi!
The girls happen to be soccer players, so we sent them out to interview their soccer coach so we can hear a little bit about what it's like to coach kids. I'm guessing it's a little different than coaching professional athletes.
I guess we'll find out. Let's check it out.
Hi, welcome back to BCG TV. I'm Alana. And I'm Allie. Today we're here with Dr. Corbin Bell. He coaches the SWAT Soccer Girls Crush team. So Corbin, why do you coach?
I like to coach, Allie, because I like to make a difference in young players' lives. I want to give them the opportunity to put in as much as they want to and to go as far as they'd like to go in the sport, and also learn good values that are going to help them be successful all around in life.
What does a soccer player need to know?
What does a soccer player need to know? They need to have good balance in their lives, right? They need to be working at school and working on the sport of their choice and learning all the different things that it is to be successful. You can be a good player and you can also be a tough player, but if you're not a nice player, then you haven't learned everything you need to know. You can be a good player, tough player, skilled player, and a good sportsman, and that makes you an all-around, well-rounded player.
So what's the silliest thing that's ever happened to you while coaching?
Silliest thing, when I was coaching a team of girls about your age, they're now graduating from high school and going to play college, but they were your age and I was teaching them to speed dribble. So teach them to touch the ball out a little bit further and sprint down the field and get down the field as fast as you can. And in demonstrating it, I pulled my hamstring and I fell to the ground while sprinting, and I rolled and rolled and rolled. And they busted up laughing at me. They were laughing. And then the rec director of the city came over on his four-wheeler and says, "Hey, Corbin, let's get you on the four-wheeler and we'll take you over to the medical station and put some ice on that." And the girls just kept laughing. And I said, "Hey, girls, I'm in pain here, ladies." And they just kept laughing.
Yeah. What's your favorite coach growing up?
My favorite coach growing up would have to be my dad. When I was about your age, I started to play soccer, and he started coaching me, and he did for 5 or 6 years, and I really enjoyed getting to know the game and hanging out with my dad.
Yeah, kind of like our mom coaches us.
Yeah, kind of like your mom coaches you guys.
Yeah. Well, thanks for answering our questions. Bye! Bye!
That was awesome. We should send you guys out to do interviews more often.
Agreed. Now, girls, before you go, we'd love to hear from you about being an athlete. What do you think is the most important part about being a team player?
I think it's about you have to do your part because you need to do your soccer homework so you get better so that you can help part of your team.
Awesome. Anything to add, Allie?
No, not really.
She gave a good answer. I love it. Do you guys have any advice for kids who are interested in joining a team sport?
Well, advice is maybe like you want to get to know the kids more than anything so that like it's friendlier, you feel like you really like it at that team.
Do you have anything to add?
No.
Perfect. Great advice, girls. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
That's it for us today. Be sure to come back tomorrow to learn about how some of these sports started.
Be sure to check the link outs to do Pound with Becky and learn about golf with our friend John, and leave a comment down below to let us know which famous athlete you would want to meet.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye-bye.